Welcome to the Home and Garden Show. I'm your host, Wally Conway. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today to help you get your home ready to sell by staging it great, get your life organized, whether it's in your business or in the home, and many other fine people who are just waiting in line to share great things with you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Feel a new level of comfort with underwear for men. Created for men with an active lifestyle and designed for sports, work, medical, and everyday wear. Underwear for Men has a special patented drawstring pouch which allows you to adjust the perfect custom fit around your manhood. It allows you the separation you need and the support you deserve. The drawstrings adjust to isolate and support. The mesh pouch cools and comforts. The tailored fit won't rubber chafe. A tagless plush waistband sized to fit a man's waist, and materials that are quick dry and moisture wicking. Underwear for Men is available in all your favorite styles and colors. In briefs, trunks, and 6-inch and 9-inch boxer briefs, and in your choice of cottony, extra cool, viscose, or polyester fabrics. Underwear for Men. Support your manhood.
Buying a home is a project that is full of paperwork. Owning a home, even more paperwork. And the question becomes, how do you keep track of all those things? How do you schedule the maintenance? How do you find warranties and guarantees and deeds and other goodies? That can be a tremendous challenge. For most of us, it's a big drawer full of junk. Doesn't need to be that way. It can be a lot better. It can all be done digital, automatically, easily retrievable with our friends at DeedBin. Brian Patten from DeedBin is here with us to help us better understand how you can have all of your things organized so you can find what you want when you need it to maximize your time and dollar value for the things that you're doing. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Thanks for having me.
Well, I am one of those people. As a company, we're totally digital. Everything lives in the cloud. It's a beautiful thing. As a human, I got stuff piled up all over the place. Warranties, guarantees, receipts, everything.
Right.
Help me understand how DeedBin is going to simplify my life.
Well, that's why we created DeedBin. I started with a need from me. My wife and I recently built a house, and I've got a big drawer full of documents, deed, contract, floor plans, all that stuff, and I'm just tired of looking at it. And I looked for a solution where there's an easy, clean way to store it, and thus came DeedBin. So I felt that there had to be an easier way to do it, and so there it is.
Excellent. So the right time for the consumer ideally is at the time of purchase. So the purchase documents, the closing documents, and all documents and maintenance forevermore lives in that same system.
Absolutely. It's easiest to start with when you're under contract to purchase a property. But just because if you're late to the game, you've owned your house for a couple, 3 years, something like that, it's still not too late. Chances are if you got it saved on a hard drive or on your phone or somewhere, and you can easily access it, upload it to our system, tag it to whatever room or property that you have. You can own multiple or have multiple properties on DeedBin.
Excellent.
And track everything.
So it would work for property manager real well too.
Absolutely. Property managers.
Yep. And real estate investors.
Yep.
That's very valuable. One of the things I learned at Home Pro Inspections is it's hard to find where those buyers and sellers are. And who knows where they are is our friends who are the real estate agents.
Right.
What is the value add to the real estate professional by participating with DeedBin so that it all is bringing value to that end user?
That's a great question. So I've spent a lot of time in sales in my prior career, and referrals are key for agents. So what we found is agents can create a DeedBin for me if I'm their customer, and that DeedBin will be presented and displayed by my agent. So when I'm under contract to close, the agent will build my DeedBin for me, and I'll forever have their name and contact information among a few other things. So it'll help me help the agent stay fresh in my mind as a DeedBin user.
I got it. So at the closing table, we're creating all these documents and usually walk away with a thing like this.
Yep.
So simultaneously, you are creating the DeedBin. So yeah, I got all that stuff and you can do whatever you want with it, but it will live digitally, so you can archive it and use it as you need for moving forward.
Exactly. And last year or a year and a half ago, we evacuated for a hurricane. And I spent a lot of time gathering documents that I may never need, but I was afraid that if something happened to my property...
You're going to need them real bad in that case.
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, at closing and under contract and even in beyond, anything relevant to my property, my taxes, home warranties for my TV, load to the system.
You mentioned, Brian, evacuating, and some of us are going to lose homes when we evacuate. How can I get all my personal belongings entered into the deed bin so I'm in a great position with my insurer when I do come back?
And that's a great question. So I've talked to people in the insurance industry, and a friend of mine said about 10% of property have a contents list. About 100% of the people need to have it. So in DeedBin, you can create your property, as I said, and then you just tag the rooms that you have that are in your property, and then you can explore further and upload. For example, in my living room, we've got a couch, a TV, a recliner. So I just go through there. It's very simple. I'm starting to build my list, and I can go as in depth as I want to. I can put pictures, warranties, receipts.
I like that.
Or at least just have a bare minimum of content list.
I like that a lot. I'd like to thank Brian Patten from BinDeed for being with us. If you'd like to learn more from my real estate professionals, you can reach out right to me. I'll make the connection for you. We can sit and talk about it. And for the general public, all the information on DeedBin will be available at jacksonvillebuzz.com. Got more great guests coming up. Stay with us. One of the most common calls we get at the Home Pro office is this: I found a crack in my slab. I saw some crack in my brick. Makes me think that all of you are living in crack houses sometimes. But it's a really serious question, and that is, I see a crack in my house. Should I worry about it? And if I have a crack, how do I correct it if it is a structural issue? We've got Chase Watkins from Alpha Foundations with us today to help guide us through those decisions. Chase, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Wally.
Well, I wouldn't be an honest guy if I didn't tell folks that I've had a relationship with Alpha Foundations for about a decade now. And every Home Pro Inspections customer, one of our inspectors sees a crack that we know is of structural significance, first call goes to Alpha. You have always taken fantastic care of Home Pro Inspections customers, so I'm grateful for that. But let me get some insight for the general population who aren't professionals on this. People see cracks every day. They call you every day. Yep. As a swag, what percentage of those panic crack calls that you get really are of structural significance?
As far as the percentage goes on that, I can't pinpoint an exact number there, but it is pretty high, pretty common for those cracks to be an early warning sign of some settling foundation going on with the structure there. But what we do is we come out for a free inspection. It's comprehensive. We're taking floor elevation, so we're able to determine exactly if there is some settlement going on with that house, and then we can propose a solution at that point.
One of the other calls we get often, Chase, at the Home Pro office is, especially from real estate agents, they're in a real estate transaction, a home inspector has identified a crack, and suddenly the home buyer says, I want to have a structural engineer. And how do you bridge comfortably that Alpha Foundations and I need a structural engineer concern?
Right. So we do have relationships with engineers throughout town here in Jacksonville, and if engineering is required for a project, then we will bring them in to do their job on that. As far as, and also with permitting as well. Right. It's not always required. However, when it is, we make that part.
We're going to do it right. That's really important.
Yes, sir.
And once let's make believe it's a slab crack, and we've taken care of it. We've remediated it. You feel good about it. What is the warranty position for that homeowner? And if it's done in a real estate transaction, is it transferable to that home buyer?
It's a great question. Yep. So with a slab foundation home, one of the main products that we install on that would be a helical piering system, and we do provide a lifetime warranty on that product, which is fully transferable upon the sale of that home. So it doesn't matter who signed off on that proposal or who signed the check there. If a real estate transaction is occurring, that warranty is going to stick with that home.
Wow, lifetime, fully transferable.
Correct.
Is there a fee to transfer?
Nope.
Require another inspection to transfer?
No, not necessary at all. Just call up the office and we will handle the paperwork, and we will make those changes there, make the adjustments.
I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. And that's important, in the real estate process, that whenever there's work done, if it's done prior to the transfer of property, that warranty transfers. And all too often, people don't ask that question, and it never gets transferred.
That's right.
So I'm glad you're there watching that. Well, I'm really grateful that you came out and shared some time with us. As you know, you're in a very high trust position with me. I've enjoyed working with you and the rest of the team for years, and we're going to keep that going for a lot more years. I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. We appreciate you as well.
If you're living in a crack house and you're tired of living in a crack house, or curious if that crack is really of structural significance, you can in fact trust the folks at Alpha Foundations. If you'd like to learn more, all the information is at jacksonvillebuzz.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's not the fire in the fireplace that damages your chimney, it's the moisture. That's why the Chimney Safety Institute of America recommends an annual cleaning and inspection of your fireplace, regardless of how often you use it. The chimney technicians at Chimney Champions clean your chimney, then use the ChimScan video system to do a complete inspection of your system to ensure your home is safe. You can trust Chimney Champions to clean and inspect your chimney. Call 268-7200 or visit chimneychampions.com. One of the things I've learned at Home Pro inspections and also at Monument Commercial Building inspections is most people live and work in chaos. They've got clutter around them, they're disorganized, and that causes stress and frustration, and it's a very inefficient way to have fun, and it's a very inefficient way to be profitable in your business. There are professionals that can help us organize so that we can remove the chaos and just enjoy our lives a little bit more. We have June Carter from GYST Solutions, Get Your Stuff Together, with us today on the show to give us some insights on just how to be happier in our homes and businesses. June, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Help me understand, why on God's green earth do we all live in such clutter and chaos?
We are busier than we've ever been. We have multiple screens coming at us, 2 parents working, elder parents. It's just more than we've ever had before.
I was having a conversation with someone outside the studio earlier today about clutter, and they said cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind. Is there any truth to that?
Yes, in that it's hard to see and process when it's cluttered. Now, some people think certain ways, and we need our space to support them in certain ways. Not every desk should be clear. It might be piles. So it's important for me to find out, as a certified professional organizer, how they think and create a space and systems to support that.
I'm a piler.
Okay?
Is that bad?
Not at all. That's who you are, and we want you to live your best life reflecting the best you.
I like my piles neat. I like my piles organized so I can work through my pile, but I am in fact a piler. What it feels like to me, and share your professional experience with it, if I can get mess away from me, I feel more relaxed, and it's easier for me to engage in the task at hand. Am I odd, or is that typical?
You are exactly typical for you, and you're not at all typical for anybody else. We do some personality assessments, we find out learning modalities, we find out needs and values, and then we solve for those within somebody's space and systems. You're a piler and a neat piler. Somebody else is all over the place, and usually what happens is somebody's okay, it gets away from them, and then they're unable to get back.
Got it.
That's a very typical situation.
I hadn't considered that. I like what you're doing a lot, June. So we'll have a conversation together and you'll figure out how I work and how I think and help me craft my space to optimize my own style, not ram somebody else's thoughts into my space.
A lot of my clients, when I come in, they're scared. They think I'm going to tell them. I don't tell anybody anything. As a certified professional organizer, and I stress the certified professional organizer part, I'm certified, I am trained, I am insured. I'm also in the process of getting a coaching certification because unless I deal with the underlying issues, I haven't made any long-term changes. Sometimes somebody just wants me to straighten up a space, but more often we're looking for a long-term impact so that the person can maintain it themselves. It's part of our ethics. I'm a member of the National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals. We take ourselves very seriously.
I can feel it.
And part of our ethics, which I must agree to be a member, is that I'm not getting a client for the rest of all time. I'm getting a client to wherever we need to be. Hopefully, I am transmitting sustainable skills that they can then go forward with.
So I have a hypothetical personal question for you. What if a fellow is a piler and he's married to a minimalist? How can you, June, as a professional organizer, bridge the gap between this hypothetical couple where she is a minimalist and he is a piler?
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Well,
Honest, tell me
minimalist,
that was hypothetical.
minimalist usually refers to the space. The piler refers to the process. We have two different thought processes going on here. So are you sharing hypothetically sharing an office? Are you in different locations? How does that affect your interaction with each other? Minimalist, is there still a paper file? I mean, all these questions still have to be answered.
So there's hope for this hypothetical situation.
Oh, I think the relationship will thrive.
That's good news. I thank you for that. I want to thank June Carter for being with us. If you'd like to learn more about how to get yourself organized and get your stuff together, the solution is at jacksonvillebuzz.com. You can make contact with June there. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more great guests. Let's imagine you want to sell your home, and let's imagine you've moved and taken your furniture with you. Now let's imagine, what does your home look like when it's empty, and is it very attractive to a buyer? Truth of it is, that answer is no. It's important that people can visualize how beautiful it will be to live in your home with stuff in it, proper stuff, not junky stuff. We've got Leah Hudson from Interiors Revitalized with us today to share how simple it is to make your home ready for sale so it sells quick and at top dollar. Leah, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You know, as a home inspector, we look at thousands of houses a year. We'll be in 3,000 houses this year. And it's amazing to see the response from people when they're wandering around a vacant home. Mm-hmm. It challenges them. They just can't figure out what it's going to be like to live in it. How does Interiors Revitalized help the seller to help the buyer and their real estate agent visualize what life will be like living in that home?
Well, what you said is completely accurate. You know, I hear all the time feedback from realtors or homeowners, people coming in and either the layout is a little different than what they expect, or maybe it's a completely normal layout and they just can't visualize what they would do with the space. So our goal is to come in and not only make the home look beautiful, but also give purpose to all of the rooms so that they can visualize it, and it also gives them ideas for after they've moved in.
You said something that really resonated with me. Sometimes people have a layout that can accurately be described as goofy. It's a goofy layout. That's a challenge to design into, especially for the non-designer. How do you help the person with that non-traditional layout, goofy space to present that space so it's suddenly inviting rather than goofy?
Well, that can look a lot of different ways. When there is a layout, there may be a room that you already have a formal living room and a formal dining room and a family room, and then there's another space where they're like, what am I going to do with this? We can do either an office. Sometimes we do flex spaces. If it's in an area that is very family oriented, we may do a playroom, a kid room, set it up to where they can envision, the kids playing and doing homework, or even an entertainment space if it's near the water. There's a lot of different options, and we always go over those with the seller or the real estate agent and let them choose what they think would be most valuable.
There is a cost to staging a home properly, and the cost is not immense, but every now and then there's a cost struggle for the person selling the home due to the situation maybe that caused them to sell the home. Can you stage 1 or 2 rooms to give an idea and keep the economics where it needs to be?
We pride ourselves on being very flexible with our staging. So typically we do have a core package. It's very affordable. We operate on a monthly rent system, and all of our pricing can pretty much be a la carte. So if they just want to stage a few rooms, we can definitely price that out for them. A lot of times, since our prices are so great, they find that staging all of the main areas is still very affordable for them.
So when the seller are working with their real estate professional, as long as they're candid about their budget and expectation, you can optimize that budget if they're not able to do it Mac Daddy.
Absolutely, yes.
That's excellent. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Sure.
I'd like to thank Leah Hudson for being with us today. If you'd like to learn more about Leah, about staging, working together, get your home sold quicker, all the details for contact are at jacksonvillebuzz.com. Got more coming up for you. I enjoy doing Home and Garden TV with you, but you can't take Home and Garden TV in the car, in the boat, or out jogging. Thankfully, we have Home and Garden Radio. Home and Garden Radio shows heard every single Saturday from 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. on News 104.5 WOKV. Hope you'll join us then. And again, it's News 104.5 WOKV Saturdays, 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. See you then. Selling your home is a stressful time, and if your home happens to be vacant, here's the truth. It's going to sit on the market longer because people can't visualize how wonderful it will be to live in your home. Consider staging. We've got Stephanie Augusta with us from Ponte Vedra Staging today, and she's a special kind of person. She is a beach girl, lives at the beach, stages beach homes so they look like they're from the beach, where they should be, rather than not quite understanding beach buyers and beach houses and that whole beach life. So I'm really grateful to have you with me, Stephanie.
And I'm grateful to be here. Thanks.
Got the whole beach thing going on. I like that a lot. Why, in your mind, do homes seem to sell so much faster when they're properly staged?
Well, it's kind of simple, really. When you walk into a house and it's empty, you tend to move through it faster than if it is staged. So if it is staged, the buyer has an opportunity to really sit down and visualize their furniture or look at the pretty decorations on the wall rather than just going through the house and picking out everything that's wrong with it.
So slow down, feel it a little bit.
Absolutely.
I've had the opportunity as a home inspector to watch people move through empty houses, and you're right, they just can't figure out what it's going to look like.
Right.
And I've noticed that when it's staged, even if the style isn't right for them, they begin designing and decorating around it. Say, oh, that sofa, what were they thinking? Oh my gracious, what I would put there is leather. But they're engaging with the house.
Right.
I like that a lot.
Right.
What is it about beach life? I live in Mandarin, to be truthful.
Okay.
What is it about beach life that's so cult-like? I'm impressed that you came over 2 bridges to be in the studio.
It doesn't happen very often.
I knew that. I feel special. But how is it that's such a cult out there?
Well, I mean, who wouldn't want to live 2 minutes from the beach? I mean, some people can bike to the beach, walk to the beach, take their dog to the beach after dinner. I mean, who doesn't want that? We all dream about having that, right?
So you've got a real luxury in your life. You live at the beach.
Right.
You stage houses at the beach.
Right.
And all day long, you get to experience beach life
Right.
by bringing those
and,
furnishings
right,
in.
and help people get to appreciate the houses that are staged and, you know, envision themselves living there one day for sure.
How important is it to present my home right that I declutter?
That's very important. So I always say, once you have made the decision to put your house on the market, you have made that decision. No one's forcing you. You made the decision to put your house on the market. So now it's time for you to remove yourself from the home without really doing that. So you want to take down your collection of spoons. You want to get rid of
I gotta get rid of my spoon collection.
I'm sorry.
How'd you know I was a spoon collector?
People just don't want to look at it. I'm sorry, but they don't. And if they do, they're coming in and they're looking at your spoons, not your house.
Okay.
So I like to leave, everyone says take down all the pictures of your family. I like to leave a couple of those because that makes a house feel warm.
More like
and
a home.
loved, more like a home
Yeah.
and cozy. So I tell people leave a couple here and there, not the collage on the wall that needs to come down. Another reason that I find staging very important is to build trust with your buyer.
Right.
Because if your home is on the market and the first place someone's going to go is online to look at pictures.
Yep.
And if they see the house presented one way online, then they get to your home and you've moved out because you've been relocated and now your house is empty. Whereas before you lived there, you had your pictures taken, you've moved, now someone comes to look at it and it looks nothing like it did
Right.
when they saw it online. So that's the first step to building trust.
Declutter, stage, photograph, market, sold.
Correct.
That is quite a great sequence. I
Correct.
appreciate that, Stephanie.
Yes.
I'd like to thank Stephanie from Ponte Vedra Staging for sharing those beachy thoughts with us today. I'm always happy with a beachy person. If you'd like to learn more, all her information will be at jacksonvillebuzz.com. Got more great guests for you. Stay with me. Right back.
Are you looking for a new employment opportunity, an employee opportunity, a company vehicle, paid holidays and vacations, a retirement plan? Please visit jackshandymanjobs.com. That's jackshandymanjobs.com to learn more and apply.
Want to thank all the great guests for being with us today. I now feel more organized. I feel more comfortable. I'm feeling great, and I'm grateful that you were with us once again on the Home and Garden Show.